What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips, where you already know we get it in, right? But before we get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Ding! Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel, and it's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very appreciative, and even more so, I'm humbled, man. Thank you guys very much. Fucking Adam 16. He does the wangala, right? He's a damn instigator, man. Let's just cut and dry. Let's just keep it real. Okay? No added preservatives, uncut. That man is smart. He knows how to instigate some bullshit, right? So the other day, for whatever reason, and I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. That is the word of the day. I was befuddled. I didn't understand why. Well, I lightweight understand, man. I high key or low key understand that in life, men will do things for whatever reasons men do them, especially on social media. A lot of the shit that happens backstage, behind the scenes, or even things that happen right in front of you, it's all caca. It's all bullshit, man. A lot of shit is front and frivolous, meaning a lot of things will get said, a lot of beefs, a lot of misuse of words, a lot of disrespect, a lot will happen. And then behind the scenes, these guys are correlating shit. They're collaborating. They're talking. It's all a setup for your view and for entertainment purposes and for content purposes. Let's just be real. Everybody is chasing the bag. Everybody's trying to go viral, especially on social media. Everybody will step on everyone's toenails to get to the top. That's what it's all about. In life, even in a job like McDonald's, you want to go from flipping burgers to the cashier, to the drive-thru person, to the motherfucker on the corner dressing like Grimace. That's how it is. And Adam has been able to decipher, manipulate, lie, sneak, cheat, steal, do whatever he has to do, and be real in some points to achieve what he's wanted, and that's to elevate his channel, build his channel to be one of the biggest podcasts on the West Coast. He did that. Can't take that from him. His business acumen is pura. He's been able to do it. Now, there's a lot of people like myself and critics of what he does just based on, we know he's a shit stirrer. He likes to cause controversy, but that's his job. Let's keep it real. His job is to cause controversial things or address controversial topics, because that's what people tune in for, the drama, the bullshit. No one cares about positivity. Now, we might say we do, but at the end of the day, more people are going to tune in to see Drake's house shot up, or to see P. Diddy party fucking video, rather than tune in to hear someone preach about, you know, making your next move your best move, or something good in life. It's just what it is. So anyways, for those of you that have been tuning in and know who American Cholo is, he also has a podcast. And there was a lot of he said, she said going on between these two podcasts, meaning No Jumper and American Cholo weren't seeing eye to eye for a very long time. They weren't getting along. Even to the fact that Adam took to disrespecting American Cholo on his channel and posting clips and basically disrespecting, Gil. And Gil felt some type of way. He felt not only was Adam disrespecting his channel and what he had going on and getting involved in his business, but at the same time also that Adam was stirring the pot and disrespecting the raza as a whole, which we all know that's what AC prides himself on, and that's where his flag is planted, on the unity of the raza, or more so his agenda when it comes to the Mexican Americans, the raza, the Latino period. He's pushed his Cali Mac narrative and what he's got going on. Like I said, me and that guy don't see eye to eye on everything, but I appreciate the value he brings to YouTube, and I respect, certain things he does, and I don't respect certain things he does. And that's just real. I'm not sugarcoating shit. We've had our ups and downs, and on downtime, it's whatever. On uptime, it's whatever. That's just how I am. I try to stay in my own lane and do my own thing, but if I see some bullshit, I'm gonna call people on it. Straight up, just like they call me on my bullshit. And I pride myself on, go ahead. I allow you to. Do whatever you gotta do, man. I'm not bigger or badder than anyone else, and I don't think anyone else is. I think we're all equal. We're on equal footing. Some people got it a little bit better than others, the way it is. Now, Adam and Gil were going at it. And Gil pulled up to No Jumper. I think it was about a year ago. 50 deep, 50 Southsiders in tow, 50 camaradas, 50 real ones. They pulled up so Gil can show a unity, but also at the same time, he could show that when Mexicans come together, they're a force to be reckoned with. Now, some people took it as Gil is not a man and he can't pull up by himself and handle his business solo. But I think it was more so a show of force. Not that they had aggressive tendencies, because they didn't go there to do something, but they just wanted to let Adam know that, hey, when you disrespect one being, the whole burrito, shao, can come together. And they were able to establish that. And for those that tuned in for that, you know, Adam mysteriously had disappeared. He was gone in the wind. He was playing poker or playing or shooting a gay porn or whatever he was up to that particular day. He was doing his thing. So he wasn't there, and he let Duno, who was once a member of the No Jumper podcast, and I believe it was AD, who was once a member of the No Jumper podcast. That's a whole different story, how they just flip guys because guys kind of see what it is. Anyways, they held it down, and Gil and Bozo and several others went. They had a great conversation. They were able to iron some things out. But again, Gil did look aggressive in his manner. He wanted to talk to Adam face to face. Adam didn't want no smoke. Didn't want to do that. Of course, Adam doubled back and said that, you know, kind of made light of it. Still kind of lightweight, disrespected Mexicans. And it was what it was. I thought American Cholo was set on his foundation, that he wasn't fucking or fooling with Adam. And I think that a lot of people that fuck with Adam, they play the politics and they're selective politicking. And I'm going to explain why I say this. And this is as real as it gets. This is what fucks me up, right? When I did a video, not a video, but I pulled up on Cowboy, okay? Nipsey Hussle's homeboy from the 60s. I pulled up on Cowboy and Dubs and Fig and a couple other people, man, and we had a food review, and I went all the way to Santa Barbara to do this, man, and I was kicking it. I was unaware at that time that Cowboy was on Megan's Law. I was unaware at that time that there was some hindrance to his step, or that people were speaking on him in a certain manner. I watched the whole Nipsey Hussle trial. I seen him get on stand. I didn't think he said anything. I seen him cry on stand and do what he does. And I respected that man for standing 10 toes down for his homeboy. But I didn't know anything about no sexual behavior, deviant behavior, or anything like that at that time. So I pulled up on him. We ate a fucking chicken wing. We had a food review. We conversated. I met him. He treated me with respect. I treated him with respect. And that was it. I come back home and man, the internet blows up. There's a lot of people making videos. Gunner's functioning with someone who's on Megan's Law. He preaches all that high power shit about SPM and this and that. And then he's doing this. And I was shocked. Just as shocked as everyone else. And there was no way to clean it up. So I tried to defend myself. I tried to diffuse the situation. But at the end of the day, I understand where everybody was coming from. It doesn't matter whether or not he did the crimes they alleged he did. He still is on Megan's Law. And at the end of the day, I took a step back from him. I took a step back from all that. And I decided in the best interest of me and my word, I couldn't fuck with him no more. And I never once was seen on camera with that guy again. And it wasn't because I thought he was a despicable or a bad person, because I don't really know. I never seen paperwork to dictate what it was, but I understood that it was a bad look. And so I held it 10 toes down, and never again will you see me on anything functioning with Cowboy. Until he's able to clean his shit up and figure himself out, I can't figure it out for him. I have no ill will or no disrespect towards that man, but I don't fucking know him like that. So bam, I'm gone. Well, Adam's been alleged of the same things. Talking to minors, having relations or whatever with a 16-year-old in Canada. All you got to do is Google it. It's right there. You know, it seems like every time someone brings it up, people fucking see he steers shit in a different direction and people forget about it. I don't. Okay, I don't forget chomo or pedophilia or none of that weird shit. When I see it, I see it. And it sticks there. Sticks right here. Because I don't like those type of motherfuckers, right? Being real. I don't say go do violent acts to them. I don't say don't go be an Alaskan Avenger. I don't say go pedophile hunting and all that and jumping out of trees and choking them out. I don't agree with anything that's going to put people in prison for doing things to people that shouldn't even be around. But at the same time, I'm just not going to fool or deal with them. So when I see all these different content creators, rappers, whatever, fooling or dealing with Adam, someone who's been alleged to have this, someone who's self-admitted, yes, he did have conversations or was fooling with someone, maybe not to a sexual degree, but was getting at a 16-year-old chick. And then I've seen people say, well, it was Canada. It's allowed. It's different. I don't give a fuck on what planet, whether it's Mars, Uranus, Wes Watson, or whoever, I don't care as a grown man, what are you doing with a 16-year-old? It just makes no sense, right? And I'm going to stand on that. So to see people interacting with this guy and still showing him favor, and because they feel he can get him somewhere on social media or his platform's big, they bypass all that. But they sit there and they talk about dropouts and people that are not gangbangers anymore, and disrespect people that are not even in their own people or for different politics, but yet will sit down and conversate with a man who has sexual deviant past or alleged to have sexual deviant behavior. How does that work? Anyways, back to fucking Gil, right? So American Cholo, they were beefing. He held it down for his people. He represented well, and whatever. For about a year now, I guess they've been talking behind the scenes or conversating, or maybe they just had a conversation. But Adam22 decided, for whatever reason, to pull up to Gil's podcast and sit down and have a conversation. Okay? They had their conversation. Hey, men will be men. And one thing men will do, and what I've always learned and I've been laced up and educated to the plight of, is grown men that are on grown man time could talk out their differences. Now, if him and Adam had a difference just because a video was posted, and maybe they could say, you know what, bro, it's not that serious. We both have families. We both have our shit going on. We could make more money and generate more conversation together by having a conversation. I just seen a video Dubs did where he said, most times guerra and everything is a breakdown of conversation. People fucking, there's a crossfire there. There's conversation gets broken down. And once it does, man, that causes chaos. So these two men were able to conversate, and ultimately Adam, surprised me, agreed to go on Gil's podcast. I would think that he would invite Gil to go on his podcast, but whatever, man. That's a good look for Gil having, more people on his podcast, and I respect that he's trying to push. But at the same time, with Adam having the smut or dirt on his name, that that Gil was pushing it. He said in the past, hey, bro, you're sexual, this, that. And then to have him on your podcast, it's like, what happened? That changed overnight? That's not true? Or you just forgot about that? Whatever, right? And I'm not hating on no one. I'm just keeping it real. So now let's get to the instigator part. Super instigator. So now we all know that Adam has Wack 100 Wednesdays, or he fucking does his thing with Wack 100. They have their own segment on No Jumper. And, we all know Wack 100 is the biggest shit stirrer, the biggest controversial figure on YouTube. He likes to talk a lot of shit. I've had conversations with Wack. I did a live where I called Wack 100 and we conversated. And I've said what I've said about him in the past. He said what he said about me. And at the end of the day, I don't hate that man. I ain't that man. Whatever he does, he's doing it. People bite in and feed into his bullshit, so that's on them. I can live in a world with or without Wack 100, to be honest with you. He doesn't fucking pay my rent, and he definitely doesn't fucking float my boat. So I ain't tripping on Pyro, right? I respect Pyro, but Wack 100 just is frivolous. Now, they're having a conversation, and Wack's been pretty quiet lately. He hasn't been real controversial. He does say things about Big U and involves himself in Crip business. But again, that's black business. And so if you notice, I don't really do too many videos on the Crips or nothing like that. When it comes to what they got going on now with that Cat 600 and all that, because it has nothing. I watch it on YouTube. It pops up in my feed. But I don't care who Spider Loke is beating up today, man. I don't care who 600 is bowing down to or fucking pulling paperwork on. None of that shit matters to me, because at the end of the day, we all know, man, it is going to be what it is going to be. Period. Or C. Right? That's it. I respect brothers, man. I respect black and brown unity. So to me, I'm not going to get involved in their shit. Now, I will say this. Adam, being a white man, tends to involve himself in everybody's shit, especially people that are not his own ethnicity, especially people that are not his own genre. He got infused or involved in a lot of the gang, stirring up the gang controversy. We know what's going on with Lefty Gunplay and Lazy Boy and Lil Weirdo and all the rappers, Northern California and Southern California. He stuck his hat and he stuck his finger in that fondue fountain, right? And was able to come out of that motherfucker shiny a little bit. Adam knows how to manipulate. But anyways, he's having a conversation with Wack. And I've always asked this question. I'm going to ask you guys to ask this question. Why is it that Brick Baby, Wack 100, Poetic Flock, all these dudes that work for No Jumper have beef with each other sharp, but they never fucking happen to run into each other? You guys ever thought about that? You ever keyed in on that? How can you work in the same building with all these guys You know what day Wack is going to be there. You know what day Brick is going to be there. They're going to have all this fucking arguments, and when I see you, it's on site, and I'm going to bust your head to the white meat, right? And all this, but they never happen to see each other or run into each other. I'll hold. Old school. So anyways, he's having a conversation with Wack 100, Adam 16 is, and in the midst of this conversation, he brings up, you know, I just went over there to American Cholo, right? And Wack gets to immediately disrespecting Gil for whatever reason. Now, it's been alleged that Wack pulled up to Gil's home, which I thought was shady as fuck. Pulled up to his home, knocked at his door, was all caught on ring camera, and boasted and bragged about pulling up to this dude. Now, everyone always talks about the pull up, until someone really pulls up. Now, allegedly, from what I've heard behind the scenes and on the front street, you know, Gil was at work. He's a working man. He's a family man. To disrespect someone and pull up to their family's house, that's not a good look, man. Especially when you know you can catch this motherfucker at the job site. You know you can catch him down the street. You don't pull up to another man's house. But I guess Wack just didn't give a fuck that day, right? According to him, he was solo. He did it like a sideways leaning Cholo to American Cholo. And there was a lot of people giving Gil grief. Where were you? You were hiding. You were hiding behind the couch. You were up under the futon. Where were you? And we all know, and from what I've heard from people that know, Gil was at work. He wasn't even present. Okay, you can't hold it against him. And I'm sure he feels some type of way and he hasn't forgot about that. Or maybe he has. But I'm sure he'll hold Wack accountable when that time comes. But anyways, Adam gets to, what the fuck is that? Was that a spirit or a cucaracha? I don't know if you guys seen that. I seen it. But anyways, Wack starts immediately disrespecting Gil. He's still around on Paru and just talking a hella shit. And Adam says, oh, when he sees you, he said there ain't gonna be no fighting. You know what I'm saying? Basically alluding to it might be gunplay or whatever in so many different words, right? Dry snitching like a motherfucker. Okay? Alerting the authorities that watch YouTube that there's still funk and that Gil basically made the threat that it's going to be something different than just a fade. To which Wack wasn't impressed and he went in and started showing, you know, phones. And the thing is this, Adam, you just sat down with this man. You just talked about whatever you talked about and you had to talk behind the scenes and forgive and forget your past discrepancies and bullshit. How are you going to sit down in this man's home, invited to his home, do his podcast, break bread with them, drink his beverages, fucking massage his fucking sidekick's leg, whatever you chose to do? Shout out to Boo Boo. I'm not saying he did that to you, Boo Boo. I'm just saying, right? And just saying that he did all this and then turn around and try to stir up some bullshit between these two guys. And in the midst of doing that dry snitch to all the millions of people that watch social media talking about Gil said if he sees you, it ain't going to be no fade. It's going to be some different type of play. You know, some can't get right. Some lefty gunplay, basically. That's fucking instigating. That's stirring. If these guys have let it go and they're not beefing anymore or they don't care for each other, let it go. Why do you have to antagonize and instigate the situation? That's what Adam does. That's why I would never be on No Jumper. First of all, I'm not invited. I'm not trying to be invited. I'm trying to do different things like Joe Rogan and real motherfuckers, right? When it comes to Adam, there's nothing that man can say or do for two reasons that is ever going to have me saying, oh, I forgive you or I forget or it's cool or I give that a pass. One is he involves himself at a disrespectful level and going in on black and brown. He takes little slide disses, subliminals and does shit like that. I don't like that. Right? Even when he brings guys on, he'll sit there, break bread, conversate, and then turn around and double back on him. Just like he did with Lazy Boy and Bands, and he sits down with these Norteños, and then he turns around and tells Lefty on the phone, oh, I had your back, I had your back. Well, you weren't saying that when you were in the midst of the Norteños. You weren't saying that to the Southerners when you were with them. Or, you know, he's just playing both sides. He's a hyena. You know, he's worse than fucking Lena. He likes to get plugged himself. Now, trip out. But to do that, to cause that controversy is why I don't fuck with him. And another thing is, them sexual acts or whatever he's been accused of never went away. Now, there's never been paperwork. He wasn't convicted of this. So I'm not saying that he is a sexual deviant. I'm saying once someone is accused of that and self-admits to, yeah, and if you look and you Google some of the crazy things he said and some of the tweets he put out and all this weird shit, it has to make you wonder, would you really sit down and break bread with a man like that? I won't. You know, I would choose not to. And I understand if you don't know, you're unknowing, like I was in the cowboy situation. I didn't know. Then when I found out, I fucking know now, right? Davalta knew, everyone around him knows, and they still choose to use selective politicking and kick it with this dude just because he has money or just because, come on now. But I got everyone mad at me. I can't fuck with that dropout. I'll never do nothing with that dropout. Mad at me because I don't gangbang. But you're going to kick back with a guy who does a 16-year-old gangbang. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, if you guys don't see it for what it is, Adam did try to stir controversy with Wack 100, and I hope it doesn't amount to nothing because black and brown relations don't need to be tainted by two guys, man, who really don't have that much of an impact when it comes to that. Now, Gil does push for the raza. He has had a positive platform for the most part. Like I said, now this is someone I don't care for as a person, as a human being, but I don't disrespect him as a man. And when it comes to fucking Wack, Wack, we've had our words. I could forgive and forget, but I could forget, period. And that's it. When it comes to Adam, I don't care what anyone says. Gunner, you just hate on Adam. I don't hate on Adam. I keep it real. And motherfuckers like, hey, they don't have the type of temperament that I do. I'm like fucking, hey, I'm like Kendrick Lamar in this shit. I'm letting everything have it because I'm going to keep it real. And that's the realest man I could be. With that being said, are you ready for Super Norteño later on? It's going down. Bang, bang. This is the gun.